Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. Isaiah, we got an update on you this morning. You're targeting end of the year for your return. Just your thoughts on where you are right now, what you can do, what you can do now that maybe you couldn't do when we saw you last, and just where you're at physically right now.
Physically, I'm in a good place. I'm making progress each and every day. I'm getting stronger. These last really 3 weeks, I've been able to be with this training staff for six days a week, taking Sundays off and really focusing on getting my strength back in that big muscle. So the big thing about it is I sat out for 3 months. Like since the end of May, I haven't done anything. So the process now is getting that strength back and getting that muscle to fire again, and it's firing again. So it's just about trying to get all the inflammation out of my hip, but at the same time strengthening my hip to get back to where it was. So I'm at a good place right now. Each day is getting better. Each day is better than the previous day, and we're doing a little more each and every day. I'm able to get on the court and shoot, move around a little bit, and it's really good progress. I'm happy where I am right now because this summer I've had to sit down the whole summer, and that's been tough for me. But being able to be around the training staff each and every day has been great for me.
Isaiah, John Telich, Fox 8, nice to see you. Question about the experience where you're out at the mini camp out west with LeBron and the ability to start the bonding process with the new team, and then ultimately your goal to play with LeBron. How excited are you for that opportunity to be on the court and share the court with him?
Last week was great. I know most of these guys just from a competitive standpoint and playing against them, but I never really built a relationship with other than Kevin Love, which I've known since I was younger. But being around these guys, you see why they win, and you see why they're in the finals each and every year. The camaraderie of this team is just amazing. Like, I've been around them for just a week, and it's all jokes and it's all fun, but they know once they get on the court how serious it is. So I think with that being said, it's going to be a really good year for us. We have a lot of talent on this team, and then just the anticipation of playing with not just LeBron but everybody on this team. Like, as you guys seen before, in my previous years, like, I've been the guy that's kind of had to do most of the work, and it'll be great to be around the top players in the league on the same team, and I'm excited to be able to give them something they didn't have, and I bet they're excited to be. I'm excited to be able to be a part of something I've never been a part of, and that's a championship caliber team, and being around the coaching staff, the whole organization is just. It's real genuine love since I've been here, and I'm excited about it.
Emmett Golden, ESPN Cleveland. Isaiah, the past few years you have been chasing the Cavaliers. How does your mindset have to change when you go from the hunter to the hunted?
It's a little weird. I was actually in the gym last night just looking up like, damn, I'm really on the Cavs. Like, I was trying to build some stuff to beat these guys. So now just being a part of that is just like, it's been amazing these last 3 or 4 weeks. Everybody's welcomed me with open arms. The organization, my teammates, my coaching staff, everybody a part of this organization have welcomed me and excited about me coming. And I can't say enough about it. Like, I can't wait to get back on the floor because I know what I bring to the table will help this team. And I can't wait for that day.
You've obviously outperformed your contract the last few years, played very high level, and obviously this is a really important year for you, for your contract. So how do you balance worrying about taking care of your hip and playing in, arguably your most important season of your career?
I think what I've done is solidified. Like, who I am as a player, that's solidified in this league. So it's no more proving what I can or cannot do. I think what's most important is just me getting healthy and me being out there 100%, not trying to, knowing me, like, I just want to play. And when I got traded to the Cavs, they're like, okay, slow down. Like, we want to make sure this thing is right. We want to make sure you're 100% and there's no after effects. And that's the good thing about these guys. There's no rush. And it's a good enough team to hold the fort and be special without me until I'm able to come back and help this team and hopefully win a championship here. So my mindset is just to get healthy and get 100%. And when it comes to basketball, I've taken care of that. I know what I bring to the table, and this team has brought me in to be who I am. And that's what's good about this organization and this group. So I don't think there's no more proving. Being on this platform and being on the stage of being able to compete for a championship is going to allow me to, like I've said before, be a max player.
I wanted to ask you one thing. There's a lot of stuff happened between the Celtics and the Cavs and all this, but one thing that I wanted to ask you about is Danny Ainge said at one point this summer that you'd been dealing with this hip issue since you were a teenager. Could you clarify that, whether that was true?
I mean, if you know athletes, most athletes have different types of hips. So it's nothing that a doctor hasn't seen. Like, I don't have no special hip that's just nobody has ever seen before. It's just an athlete's hip. I've had no problems before, let's say, March 13th when Karl Anthony Towns fell on me. I've never had one problem with my hip. So I know for a fact that was never a problem brought up or anything to that matter.
Isaiah, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. How much of a challenge has this particular injury been for you from a mental standpoint? And is there a hurdle that you feel like you've cleared recently that gives you confidence that you can get back to 100%?
From a mental standpoint, it's been tough. I've never been injured to where I've had to sit down for a long period of time. I've always been able to get in the gym and get better. And this summer has been pretty new to me where I've had to just sit down and really reevaluate everything and make sure my hip is 100% correct. And putting myself around the right people and being traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers have helped me realize what's most important. That's me getting 100% healthy. And I'm doing everything I can to get that. And I have jumped a hurdle. Like, I'm able to run, I'm able to defensive slide, I'm able to backpedal and do those things with no pain. So that's something that is positive for me, just because all summer I haven't done anything and I haven't even tried, because that was what they wanted me to do. And like I said, each and every day is a progression, and it's moved it's moved positively.
Were you ever discouraged during this whole rehab process?
I wasn't discouraged, because I know who I am, and I know I've been injured before. Not to this extent, but not knowing when you're going to play is definitely discouraging. Like when it first happened at the beginning of the summer, and just having to play the waiting game, but now knowing and getting people's hands on my hip and making sure it's all the right things that I'm doing. Like, I'm positive as they come. I come in here every day with a smile, knowing that I'm gonna play again, and I'm gonna play at the level that I know that I can play at, and that's the MVP caliber level.
Tony Mitchell with ESPN Radio Mansfield. Welcome to Cleveland, first of all. What can you tell us about your former teammates in Boston, and what can we expect to see from them?
Shit, I only got like 3 teammates that's still on that team. Oh, my bad. I thought you was talking about Jay. You mean Jay Crowder? Man, when you're trying to build a championship team, he's a piece that you need on that team. He's a guy that whatever role you put him in, he's going to do it to the best of his ability. He's a guy that's not going to back down from anything, and he's a guy that's been counted out his whole career. So we're kind of cut from the same cloth, and he's a guy that you guys are going to be, or the fans in Cleveland and this city is going to be appreciative of. He brings his hard hat each and every day, and not just a basketball player. He's an overall great person and one of my close friends.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. Is Cleveland's rehab plan for you the same as Boston's was, or is there any significant differences between the two?
They got more resources.
The clinic?
Yes. So, I mean, I've heard about the clinic before I've gotten here, and with the guys that've seen my hip and they've been with me every day for the past month, it's all positivity. It's all, you're going to get back, and you're going to get back 100% and play the way you've always played. And I can't wait till that day comes. So, not to put anything on Boston. Those guys were amazing to me. the training staff, the organization. I can't say enough great things about Boston, but it is a little different here.
And one last thing, right after the trade, the other Isaiah Thomas, went on some sort of radio show or something and said that he had spoken to you right after the trade and that Cleveland had a little bit of trust that they had to rebuild just because of everything that you went through and then being traded from Boston. Where did that stand? I know we already saw you once, but we didn't really get into this. Was that a jolt to you, or was there a trust issue that had to be rebuilt with this team just because of entering a new environment, or what was that like for you?
Oh, for sure. He was 100% right. I gave my heart to that city, and to be traded like that it hurt. It hurt, and I'm not going to lie about it. It hurt, but at the same time, like, going forward, like, you just can't give your heart to just anybody, because at the end of the day, if they make a business move like they did, it's going to hurt. But he was 100% right, but at the same time, he also told me every bump that's happened in your career, every time that you fell on the ground, which he means every time that you got traded, you bounced back and it was something better than you ever thought it would be. And I think this situation is going to be the same exact thing. Like, I couldn't be put in a better situation, a bigger platform, and to showcase that I'm one of the best players in the world and we're one of the best teams in the world.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. I'm just curious from a personal standpoint, during those 3 months, could you even play with your kids, or what in the heck did you...
Even if I couldn't play with my kids, they would make me. Nah, but I was able to play with my kids. Like, it wasn't something where I couldn't do that. Like, I was able to be functional each and every day and live a normal life. I just couldn't play a 5-on-5 game with NBA stars. So
how maddening was that whole 3 months?
It was tough. Like I said, this is the first time in my life where I really had to sit down. And I'm one of those guys that always fought through injuries. Even if I was a little injured, I was going to play. If I can walk, I was going to play. And this was the first time in my career where I couldn't. Like, I couldn't do it, and it wasn't best for my future as a basketball player. So, but it definitely made me a better player, even though that's hard to believe. But mentally, I was able to watch a lot of film, watch every possession that I played in last year. I had so much time on my hands that I was able to get better mentally. And like I said, I'm just so excited to be able to be here and can't wait to get on the court because I know something special will happen.